Now let's turn our attention to the governorship candidate of the APC in the just concluded election in Adamawa State, Aishatu Binani, who has decided to file a notice of discontinuance at the courts. She is withdrawing. She dropped her suit against Fintiri, Governor Madu Fintiri of the state, as well as INEC. Recall that she had initiated the suit to stop INEC from, making any other announcement apart from the announcement made by the resident electoral commissioner of the state. But right now, she has decided to drop that suit. Mike?
Well, it's an act of grace that she has dropped the suit. But what would have really been an act of grace was if she had not made that speech,
Right.
that acceptance speech in which she soared about. Opportunity for women, a great victory for women and every child in the world. She was putting herself on the same pedestal as it were with people like Angela Merkel and so on and so forth. But it was just an illusion. It was just a grand illusion. But now that she's decided to withdraw her suit, it is an end, or it's a kind of a moral victory for Fintiri.
Yeah.
It's also a sort of mea culpa. It's an apology, and it's also an act of humility. I think we should also accept that.
Right, Mike.
Well, the point there is that suit shouldn't have been
Initiated
in the first place. It was an embarrassment to Nigerian political system. But the point there is, a lot of Nigerians said that, in fact, she should be called to question. Because what happened that day, if we're saying...
It was an illegality.
The resident electoral commissioner of INEC, you have to be prosecuted or you have to be called to question. The police officers and security agents who were there are being investigated. She also partook in that whole thing. That should be investigated. But the point there is that is the difference in the dynamics, where she is a politician in this case. So prosecuting her could generate more issues than the public servants who were part of the shenanigans of that day.
But they will say she was also part of it.
No, of course, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But the point there is that apart from people who are calling for her prosecution, going ahead to prosecute her would send other signals than prosecuting the police commissioner or the commandant of the state's, head of NCDC or the resident electoral commissioner. They are public servants. Because the issue there is, everybody who is going into the contest, you know what the rules are.
Absolutely.
You know how it should come out. You know the end from you know the dates, you know the time frame, you know who should do what at whatever time. So the point there is, at the point where there's an illegality, and you stand with that legality to give yourself legitimacy, it is totally wrong. So the point there is that there shouldn't have been that speech like Sam said in the first place. She shouldn't even have initiated it. In fact, she had no case in the first instance. Because like in law, where they say that nothing can, there's a way they say it, that when there's vanity, nothing, you cannot build something on nothing, right? So the issue there is that there was no case in the first place. If the returning officer had was the one who had declared her,
Right.
then she could say, okay,
I have a case.
I have a case. But the point there is that the wrong person, it's just like me and you contesting an election, and then maybe the driver from somewhere or the security man comes to say, oh, I am the winner. You're not even part of the entire thing in the first place. So it was totally a wrong initiative. I believe that she must have been advised that it was going to paint her in bad light, especially if she has the interest to contest in the next election. Then she needs to do the right thing now. In fact, she needs to apologize to people of Adamawa State.
But Sam is saying we should accept
No, of
this
course,
as an apology.
we should accept. But the point there is
It's
that
not enough.
no, the point there is we take that as a subtle apology, but she should apologize formally.
Okay.
To say, okay, we are sorry for what, maybe I was misled. She was misled into whatever happened, as the case may be, and she has learned her lesson, and she has moved on. Let us move on as a people. We expect that kind of thing from her.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree with you that she should do that.
All right.
And the person who spoiled the whole thing was the his DG of his campaign, saying that the REC announced the postponement. So why nobody complained? But that was not the result. That was an administrative decision.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
all right. We need to quickly move on now to bring the news update.